Hi guys, and welcome on this video of a 5 minutes of dev series. Today we're going to create a layout using the CSS property Flexbox. In today's video we're going to create a layout like this, with a head, a sidebar, a section and a footer. To create our layout we're going to use 4 different HTML elements. In this case I've used different semantic elements such as header, aside, section and footer. But you're more than free to use just divs. I usually suggest to use semantic elements as they're very useful for accessibility purposes. To be able to clearly define our components, I have provided some basic colors and background for each of our sections. Our first step is to declare a flex container. In our case, the basic layout is the one that surrounds all our elements, and therefore is the one that is going to be receiving the display flex. Applying the display flex is going by default trying to fit all the elements within a single row. To allow our elements to wrap, we need to use a new CSS property called FlexWrap. This will override the default and it will actually allow the elements to wrap between different rows. Declaring FlexWrap has not done any change whatsoever on our layout. This is because we have not forced any width or declaration of Flexbox on any of our elements. To start and create our layout, we're going to provide width for the header and the footer. As previously shown, we would like the header and the footer to take the 100% of the width of our screen. So we can do that by just declaring a normal with 100%. The same result can also be achieved by using the CSS property called FlexBasis. FlexBasis define the default size of an element. To allow our sidebar and section to take the full width of our screen, we're going to use a new flex property called FlexGrowth. FlexGrowth accepts a unitless value that is serves for proportions. Applying a value of 1 on both the side and the section will actually split the full width to 50-50. If we actually want the sidebar to take 1/4 of the screen, we're able to change the section to 3. And doing that will actually change it accordingly. For our basic layout, we just need to add a little bit of paddings. And height. As you can see, because of the use of Flexbox, applying height to just one side will also automatically increase the size of our section. The power of Flexbox is in the way in which it can adapt to different screen size. If we shrink the viewport, you will see that it will automatically change by wrapping up, becoming 4 different rows. All this without having to declare any media query. There are a couple of bugs that we need to fix. First of all, our sidebar is too big, our section is too small, and currently the element just wrap when they are smaller than the size of the text within itself. To be able to fix our bugs, we need to work with 3 different Flexbox properties: FlexGrowth, FlexShrink, and FlexBasis. We've not seen FlexShrink yet because it automatically defaults to 1. To be able to decide when the sidebar and or the section will wrap, we need to use 2 different Flexbox properties. The first is the one that sets a size of our element that we used before, that is called FlexBasis. And the second is FlexShrink. So for our purpose, we're going to set a FlexShrink to 0 because we would not like it to shrink less than the default size. And we're going to set a basic size of 200 pixels. If we see now, if we start and resize our body, you see that it shrinks it when this section is actually smaller. We're going to take the same approach for our section, but instead of use this verbose way of declaring the growth, the shrink and the basis, we use a shorthand syntax that is called flex. The flex take 3 different entry. The first one, it will be the flex grow. in our case is going to be 3. The second one is going to be the flex shrink, that is in our case is going to be 0. And the third is going to be the flex basis, that in our case is going to be 400 pixels. So doing so, redeclare the sizes of both elements now, and as we shrink, as soon as any of the section becomes smaller, they will actually wrap up and become individual rows. Our last bug is to move the height from the sidebar to the section. As you can see, this is very useful because it allows you to have a nice sidebar of the same size of your section, but when the element shrinks, it actually allows you to define individual height as necessary for different media queries and different screen size. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please do not hesitate to contact me either on Twitter or by commenting on this video. Thank you, and see you soon.